some of you know this, some of you will find this astonishing. I was a professional break dancer around the age like
I want video.
I know. I actually
YouTube.
got paid for break dancing.
Like when you're a pro in karate, you get a black belt. When you're a pro in golf, you get a PGA Tour card. When you're a pro in breakdancing, what do you get?
Yeah,
like, what's
right.
the how do you earn
chicks.
your card?
I got a head-to-toe Adidas windbreaker outfit, and I actually got paid to go dance at
so
some
you
gigs.
could do like you could spin on your head and stuff.
Yes, I did. The head spin was something I used to. And I used to
There's
spin
no video of this.
And I used to spin other people on my head. That was
What?
that
Get
was
out
yeah.
of
'Cause
here.
I was this size when I was like
Schnepp,
15.
come back
Yeah, I
here.
was
We
gonna
need you
say.
to
So
spin on his head.
if I pay you, would you let Schnepp spin on your head?
I would certainly not want to try.
Oh, dude, Christmas party here is next weekend.
Right.
We have a Christmas party here,
We'll get
yes.
a couple shots of Jack in him, and then we'll do some breakdance.
Yes.
I don't want to come to Star Wars Episode 7 and find out Chewbacca was hit by a moon. Which happened in the extended universe, by the way.
Got hit by a moon?
Yeah, that's how they killed Chewbacca. They hit him with the moon.
Don't you see a moon coming?
I know.
So,
He was like,
Doesn't it move kind of slowly? It's a big lumbersome thing, you know?
you'd think it's deceptively nimble, the moon.
it's not a moon, it's a space station. No,
So-
that's a moon.
Well, I mean, to say that I don't love, I mean, what is fair to say is that my primary love of Star Wars is the movies. I mean, because that's what started it all. That is the heart of all of it. You can ask anybody at Lucasfilm, they'll tell you that is the heart of everything is the movies. It's also unfair to say that I dislike everything else that's Star Wars. I love Tarkin. I love Rebels. I'm so looking forward to Aftermath. And look, I ain't the only one that didn't like New Dawn. I ain't the only, all three of us on the panel did not like Heir to the Jedi, but we're going to do our review of that later. All three of us on the panel are not fans of the prequels, but that's not really the issue here. The issue here to me, and by the way, thank you for the question, is that something that I think is a real problem in not just Star Wars fandom, but film fandom, regardless of genre in general. Here's what I mean by this. A little bit of background to me, okay? My earliest childhood memory, I've said this before, is my mom watching Star Wars with me. I don't have any memory of my life prior to that. I honestly don't. So as far as my conscious mind goes, I have been a Star Wars fan my whole life. My very first pet was a cat my parents got me, and they allowed me to name it Luke Skywalker. That was the name of my cat. No surprise, it ran away about 2 years later. I had the pajamas, I had the bed sheets, I had everything. Everything about my life, even growing up as an adult, was based around my love of Star Wars. It influenced everything about me from a creative point of view and really pushed me in the direction that I kind of take with my life now, which is all things creative and in different ways that I can get involved in it. So you have to understand that about me. I drove 2,000 miles to watch The Phantom Menace in my favorite movie theater. John, why didn't you drive? Because why didn't you fly? Because honestly, it was my religious pilgrimage. It was my Mecca. It was me and a couple other friends decided we were going to road trip it because this was that important to us, that's how we were going to experience Star Wars. But then comes this notion that if you're going to be a fan of Star Wars, and this is the minority of people, and I am certainly, none of my comments right now are addressed to people who legitimately love the prequels. You know I hate them and I don't like them, but all film's subjective, and if you love the prequels, that's all that matters, and my opinion shouldn't shake your love of those films in any way. So my comments aren't pointed at those people. My comments are pointed at people like you, Mark, who I'm really glad you wrote this in, who say, okay, yeah, we get it, the prequels suck, but let's gloss over it. You write in your question, let's gloss over it. Let's just love it full stop anyway. See, to me, that's not love. That's denial. Love is not sticking your head in the sand. Love is not disillusioning yourself. Love is not denial. You see, when you love something, you want the best for it. You want the best out of it. Maybe an unhealthy amount of yourself becomes focused around that thing. Let me do what I often do, which is bring up a sports analogy. You talk about football fans, right? Go to New York City, man. Go to New York and talk to some people there about the Giants, the New York Football Giants. They are some of the most passionate, irrationally out of their heads, in love with their sports teams that you will ever see. But they also call it like it is. Their love for their team drives them to call into sports radio and complain about the things that are being done wrong. Not because they want to nitpick and complain, but it's because they love the Giants. And I'm sorry, but if you love something and you watch those prequels and you understand that they're terrible and they're bad, like you seem to suggest in your question, then I have to question your love for them if it doesn't make a little part of you die inside when you see the object of your love doing something so poorly. If you look at something that you propose to love and it doesn't hurt you, dissuade you, damage you, make a little part of your soul die inside when you see it not executing well, then I'm sorry, my friend. You don't love Star Wars. You like Star Wars. When you love Star Wars, you are impassioned for it. And that means you see the good and you see the bad. When you love somebody, like a person in your life, my wife knows every bad, rotten thing about me. She doesn't stick her head in the sand to say she loves me. In order for her to say she loves John, she doesn't have to brainwash herself into forgetting all the bad things that are about me. No, what makes her love special is that she acknowledges the rotten things about me. She's aware of the negative things about me and loves me in total anyway, without sticking her head in the sand, like I said before. These are things. Blind fandom is not fandom at all. Look, if you love Star Wars and you love The Phantom Menace and you love Rebels and you love The Clone Wars and you love all the things, that is great if it comes from that legitimate point of view. But don't stick your head in the sand. I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. Have been my whole life, always will be. I bleed blue and white. But they suck. They've sucked for a long time. But just because they suck doesn't mean I deny my love for them and how much I love them. Because guess what? Any weak-minded fool can just say, everything about this thing is awesome and therefore I love it. It takes a true fan with true love to say, yeah, that's bad and that's bad and that's bad. And then look you in the eye and say, but I love it anyway because it's that important to me. I love Star Wars with every ounce of my frickin' being. And as long as I do, I will call out the bad things that I don't like and I'm going to love it anyway. Star Wars Celebration. You saw some pictures of fans that are really happy and cheering for a great trailer. You know who are the guys that had the tears in their eyes? The ones who know how bad the prequels sucked. Because the movies mean that much more to us. And to sit back and watch the trailer for The Force Awakens come out in all of its frickin' glory. Those of us who love Star Wars passionately and deeply are coming off of the pain and the heartbreak and the soul crushing of the prequels. When we see that trailer, it means so much to us who can appreciate where it's now come from and recovered from, that it brings literal tears to our eyes, joy to our hearts, and a song into our souls, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the people who appreciate the new Star Wars the most.
But one of my favorite things that I've ever done on AMC was when we did the 24-hour marathon. Yeah. It was you, me, and Schnepp at like probably like 19 of 24, and for like a good 45 minutes, it's you, me, and Schnepp just talking trash about the
prequels. I remember that.
Yeah,
was
if
so
you guys want to check that out, that was like the very beginning of 2014, our 24-hour marathon.
We were talking about this off camera, and I'm going to take the unpopular point of view on this one. I saw it because, for those of you who don't know, while J.J. Abrams was making the announcement from the set of Star Wars about the Force for Change thing, which is amazing what they're doing, he had like a dude in a costume effect creature walk behind him carrying like little babies in a basket, and it looked pretty cool. But honestly, to me, it's nothing. It means nothing, and it's not a big deal. Because some people say, oh, it signals that they're going back to the practical thing. No, everybody forgets, George Lucas used a lot of guys in costumes too, amidst all the world of CG that he also used. So to me, it didn't mean anything one way or the other. I was more focused on the great cause that JJ and Lucasfilm were working on, and having a cute little creature walk in the background, to me, didn't signal anything. However, I know I am in the minority in that opinion, so Christian, take it.
To quote Sam Jackson in Pulp Fiction, allow me to retort. Because I am on that side in the fact to where this means something. The reason why is, to your point of George Lucas also working with this, he had guys in costumes. He was more focused on, I'm going to have all my new toys, like my special effects, I'm going to show them this brand new Jar Jar character and everything too. His mind wasn't focused on bringing it back to the public in the way J.J. Abrams is. So when J.J. Abrams is talking and that guy comes through and he looks like something out of Labyrinth, and Dennis had made the Dark Crystal analogy as well, and when you see that, it's him going, hey guys, everything you heard about me and what I'm doing, I'm bringing it to you. Look at this thing. He might not even be a character, that silly little thing, but it doesn't matter because I felt like I was on whatever planet they were on. I felt like I was there because I'm like, oh, where's he shooting from? Is he actually on Tatooine? It got me in the spirit again.
It meant a lot to me because when I saw it, that's why I was confused of why everyone was talking about this Batman versus Superman title. I was like, this is the most important thing that came out yesterday because, yeah, I think J.J. Abrams has the benefit of hearing all the backlash against the prequels that people had against them, and he's like, okay, I'm going to learn from that, and here you go.
Right.
This isn't like some subtle thing. This is in your face. Like, here, why is there a puppet guy like coming across during his charity announcement? I think he's saying like, look, this is all, we're going to make it as practical as possible. Obviously, there's going to be some CG in there, but they're going to try and put as much practical stuff in there as possible. Because if you remember, if you watch the prequels, like let's say if the prequels are on in the background, in terms of like the locations and the sets or whatever, you cannot tell the difference between any of the 3 prequel movies.
Right.
Because all of it is just CG.
Right.
Think about Star Wars, Empire, and Return of the Jedi. When you see them on whatever location they're at, you know where they're at.
Right.
You know, you
Right.
know which movie it is.
Yeah.
With the prequels, all
could've
3
been
look
anywhere.
the same. They all look the same.
Well, John, I have a question for you as far as from your point. Is like, so let's say what J.J. Abrams does with the new trilogy brings back practical effects, because they've kind of fallen off the way. Some people rely on the computers and the CGI. For the most part, practical effects is a thing of the past. What if this movie does that and brings back practical effects to the forefront, and then this video, would that have more significance because eventually, at least, no.
I still think you guys are reading way too much into it. I think it was just they were going to do this video, and somebody said, "Hey, you know, it'd be cute have one of the creatures walk around in the background." That's all I think it is. I think you guys are doing what my wife does sometimes when she asks me, "Hey, John, how was your day?" and I say it was fine, and she starts to try to analyze what did that mean. And that's what I feel like you guys are doing. And let's not forget about this whole JJ's going to save practical effects. This is the same dude who gave us Star Trek. He loves his CGI.
Yeah, sure.
Don't make no mistake about it. These new Star Wars films are going to be heavy in CGI.
yeah, for sure.
Of course they are.
But
Yeah.
I think where JJ is going to be different is like, you know what? If we can do it with practical, let's do it with practical.
I'm not against.
Star Wars to me, I've mentioned this on Jedi Council the other day. It is my earliest childhood memory. Is my mom watching Star Wars with me, and I have no other memory for another 2 or 3 years after that. I mean, that's my earliest memory.
Wow.
One of my next earliest memories was my Aunt Pina taking me to see The Empire Strikes Back, the second film. And as a child, seeing the images as this brand new film Star Wars that completely birthed in the Hollywood blockbuster era. There had never been anything like this. There had never been a movie that come along and completely swept all of pop culture the way Star Wars did at the time. And as a kid, seeing on the TV screen those iconic images of the Mann's Chinese Theater, although it was called the Grauman's, I think. No, it was Mann's at first. It was the Mann Chinese Theater at first. And watching the crowds and seeing footage and pictures of that first premiere, to know that I'm going down there now, to be a part of that is, I would give up everything else I have for it. I mean, I would give up this job. I wouldn't give up my wife, but I would give up this job. I would give up any toys. I would give it all up to be there and be a part of that. It has literally been, I know that's sad because we're talking about a movie, but it has literally been one of the very few items on my bucket list. And I can't put it into words. So we're going to be videoing, probably using our Instagram a lot when we go down there. We're going to go down to the premiere probably about an hour and a half early. If you're not following us on Instagram yet, follow us on Instagram. We're Collider Video, all one word on Instagram. Make sure you're following us because we're going to be putting up video on Instagram, the 15-second videos, like right up to the moment we walk in the doors to go see the movie. Then right when we walk out, we'll Instagram some more. Then we're coming right back here to the studio to shoot a review. Watch for that late Monday night. It's going to be amazing.
All right, now serious question. Will you cry?
Yep. I have cried. I
appreciate the honesty.
I'm gonna cry. I'm absolutely gonna cry when I'm there and that music starts and the word Star Wars appears and the opening crawl comes. I've cried in 3 movies in my life. If I'm remembering correctly, it might have been 4, but I think it was 3. I cried near the end of Life is Beautiful with Roberto Benigni. And
How could you not?
Yeah, you're just
How
not a
could you
human
not?
being. You're
Yeah.
not alive if you didn't cry at the end of that movie. I cried I might have cried in Amelie. But one of the other ones is I cried at the end of my best friend's wedding, and I'm not going to tell, I know this sounds like a weird one to cry in, but I will tell that story another time. But so yes, I am absolutely going to cry.
Well, I am very excited for you, and I can't wait to follow everything. I wish I was there too.
I can't wait. I wish you could come as well, and I wish all of you guys could be there.
Joining us as always is John Campea.
I know.
Way to go.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, coming to you from right here at the Collider Video headquarters here in Burbank, California. More on that in a bit, and we are so excited to be a part of your day.
Also, here is writer-director John Schnepp.
Everything's green. Everything's green on Monday at Collider Movie Talk.
Also, here is Collider's Mark Ellis.
I'd like to thank the Boston Celtics for this paint job, and if Tyrese and Chris Pine want to come out and say they're going to be the Green Lantern, this is the week to do it, boys.
Or if you were laughing at the Julianne Moore one, you've got problems. It's so funny that she's forgetting things.
She's
comedy's
forgetful.
amazing. Yeah.
You know what? Thought, why have they not moved Hall H into Petco Park? So people don't have to line up for 48 hours to
That's
get
a
in.
great idea.
You put up the giant screen. You can fit as many people as you can in there. I've never understood why they don't do
$1 million
that.
idea, and we're only on day one of Collider.
Anyway, you guys can follow me on all the various social media networks, just on Twitter and on Facebook, wherever, just at John Campia.
Can it be possible to see a Harry Potter reboot?
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
I'll answer this one. No.
Oh, absolutely.
No.
Now, should they do it, and will they do it? Are two very different questions in Hollywood. Should they do it? No. Will they do it? Eventually, yes. Unless she breaks her, commitment to get back into the Harry Potter. Look, we already know she's kind of dabbling back in the Harry Potter universe because they got the movie version of whatever the textbook was.
Mystical Beasts and Where to Find Them or
Mystical
something?
Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yeah.
Sounds like some kind of strange S&M thing. But hey, remember when every day 3 dump trucks filled with gold bullion would back up on my driveway and dump it out on my lawn? That was fun. And then she decides to write another one. I could sort of see that happening.
No, but it's like instead of just 2 dump trucks, which are constantly happening forever, that's what's going on with her now. So I don't really doubt it's money.
Yeah, yeah.
I imagine her lair looking like Smaug's lair.
That's right. And she's just slithering around all in gold all day.
She's all the way down there. You're like sliding down gold bullions to go visit her. Getting on the 4th level, sliding. Yeah.
Yeah, if David Fincher gets attached to a flash film, it's not going to go like Spider-Man.
But I would totally see that.
Would it be part of the same universe? It's a strange, dark, electrical universe which has nothing to do with the Justice League.
Fight Club Flash.
Yeah.
Boom.
Flash Club.
Flash Club. Flash Club. You're at hashtag Flash Club. It's going to trend worldwide. Okay.
And I am saddened and disgusted by all of you who would not support me with my peeing in the bottle habits when it comes to video games. You all know you did it too, and all of you threw me under the bus.
Wow.
That's
Also
from last
here,
week.
John Schnepp.
Yeah, you guys are hating on him about that bottle thing? When he said it, I thought it was gross.
Also, here's Mark Ellis. Follow that up. All right.
Oh, hey, sorry. I was just doing something under the desk. Good to go.
Oh my
go.
gosh.
That was Mark Ellis's pee face, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Oh, well, thank you so much. We premiered it at San Diego Comic-Con. Thank you, Jack Hole, for touring it. And you can get it at TDOSLWH.com. You can get it right now. You can get a Blu-ray, a DVD, or a digital download. You can buy it right now. It's available. You can watch it. You can just click it and watch it right now. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, just at John Schnepp and at TDOSLWH. Thanks, guys.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, coming to you right here at the Collider Video headquarters here in Burbank, California. And I am a proud member of the male gender who never notices differences in women's hairstyles.
Also here, writer-director John Schnepp.
I have to say, Ashley's hair is striking today. Amazingly
Beautiful.
Farrah-esque. Farrah, like it's got a little feathering action.
You guys, it's darker. I come in and no one noticed. No one noticed my darker hair. I hope you guys noticed.
Let's go to one shot of Ashley. Now,
Yeah.
guys,
This
can
is
you
way
see the
darker.
difference? Is it darker?
Oh my
I didn't
gosh.
notice.
Girls, I'm sure you noticed.
I'm sure the girls did.
Yes.
Us in the fan community, and I'm including myself in this, trust me, I am as guilty as this of anybody, okay? What we often feel as fans of anything, whether it's fans of Dragon Ball Z or fans of Star Wars or fans of Ghostbusters, what we tend to then start to believe and feel is that, like, this microphone is us. This now empty water bottle is the world, and we see the world like this. The world revolves around us, and everything that ever happens should be done in service to us because we are the core fans, right? And like I said, I'm mocking myself here as much as anybody because I've done this. I am so guilty of this, right? So the ultimately thing is, why do studios do things that they know that might tick off the core fans? Because the core fans don't matter. I mean, ultimately, now, should it matter? That's a different argument altogether, okay? That's a totally different discussion that we can totally engage in another time, right? But when we're talking about the core fans, okay, who are the core, hardcore fans of Ghostbusters? Well, they're not nearly as big a number as you might think. And if they were nearly as big a number as you might think, then the studio, being the greedy SOBs that they are, and like in the words of Richard Greco, greed is good, greed works, then that's what the studios would do. But the studios know that they're not going to make a new multiple hundreds and hundreds of $million franchise if all they do is catering to the core fans. They understand they have a great, rich property in the Ghostbusters, very brand recognizable name in the Ghostbusters. Now we're going to bring some new comedy stars. We're going to do a new take on it, and we think that's the way to go. And now, to try to then totally equate that with a situation like Star Wars is totally inapplicable. These are two totally different scenarios. There are, I think even the most diehard of Ghostbuster fans will agree that there are just a ton more Star Wars fans out there and a lot more people who are showing their kids and then showing their grandkids Star Wars that it just makes sense for them to carry on the story. I don't think it's disrespectful at all. But remember my opinion. Remaking is not a disrespect to the original because the original is always there to cherish and love. I don't think them going in this new direction with Ghostbusters is in any way disrespectful to the core fans of Ghostbusters. What would be disrespectful is if they pulled a George Lucas and I love George Lucas, but if they pulled a George Lucas and said, we're going to re-release the original Ghostbusters, but now we're going to take out Ernie Hudson. And we're going to replace him with a 17-year-old Jamaican woman. We're going to CG him out. And instead of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, we're going to have, who's big and marketable right now? We're going to have Justin Bieber. Just a giant Justin Bieber is destroying the city and changing that movie. That would be disrespectful to the Ghostbusters fans. A new incarnation while leaving and cherishing the treasure. I don't think that's disrespectful. Anyway, Schnepp, am I totally off base here? What do you think?
What if it was a giant Ted walking?
That would be great.
No, you're not off base. I think you're right. I mean, I think people hold their things so close to the chest. A lot of fans do, especially. They're like, don't mess with my thing. And if you're going to mess with it, make it exactly the way I want. I think they went on record earlier this year and said that, I mean, I know Dan Aykroyd was part of saying this, and I don't know if I believe it or not, but they were like the Ghostbusters extended or expanded universe. Remember
there's going to be a fourth, all new,
an entire universe of Ghostbusters. Like, hang on a second. Let's see if the first one makes money, the first reboot. You guys can find me at Twitter and Instagram, just at John Schnepp and at TDOSLWH. Check out Heroes tomorrow and hashtag Collider Heroes, your questions. I'm putting together the notes today, so maybe we'll pick your question, make it good. And definitely, if you want to see my film, The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened, go to www.tdoslwh.com, support independent film, and buy my film, either digital download or Blu-ray or DVD. I appreciate you guys going to my site to get the film. Thank you.
And of course, our lovely and darker-haired host today, Miss Ashley Mulva, with their stunning, deep brunette lock.
It's so amazing. It's different.
Thank you.
You looked so different. We couldn't
different.
We couldn't figure it out. We were like, what did she do? And that's why I know we didn't mention the hair, but it was like because we were so stunned and freaked out.
Okay.
Like deer in the headlights. Like she did something amazingly different. I don't know what it is. I can't mention it. I'd feel weird if I said something and then she brought it up and we're like, of course, it's the hair. That's what it was.
Obviously.
Ashley Mulva, where can people find you?
You guys can let me know if you see the difference on Twitter and on Instagram at Ashley Mulva. Happy Monday, guys.
The last name is ever, first name is greatest. When it comes to skin tone, I am the pastiest.
Oh my gosh.
Close.
That was kind of amazing.
So close.
Rhyming good.
Also,
Me
you're
and
John
Drake.
Schnepp.
Hey, I'm from the East Coast. I used to eat Drake's cakes. Very delicious if you've never tried them here in the West Coast.
Oh my goodness. Also, here's Mark Ellis.
Missing a golden opportunity to mention that I used to have the card Fire Drake from Magic the Gathering. It was
Yes!
the red mana.
I love
and
the
it
Fire
ties
Drake.
into the first story today.
Fantastic. Ashley,
All right.
start us off. I want to thank, first of all, the guy sitting at the table with me, sitting over here, Mr. John Schnepp. Schnepp, where can people find you online?
You guys can find me at Twizzler.com. I'm working on my brand new Twizzler movie. I might change it to Red Vines. It might be a bidding war. We don't know. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at John Schnepp and at TDOSLWH. You can also find my documentary, The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened, at www.tdoslwh.com. Please buy a digital download or a Blu-ray. That helps me get out of debt. Thanks.
And, of course, sitting over here, Mr. Mark Ellis. Mark, where can people find you?
At 5150else on Twitter and Instagram. I'll let you know what I thought of Fantastic Four when I see it tomorrow morning. Tonight I'm at the Comedy Store in Hollywood. Tomorrow night, the Improv in Hollywood. Come enjoy some yucks.
And, of course, our lovely host today, Miss Ashley Mova. Ashley, where can people find you?
On Twitter and on Instagram at Ashley Mova. Happy Tuesday, guys.
And the roll tells me that you can find me. That was terrible. You can find me and follow me on Facebook.
It was
and on
awesome.
Twitter.
Do it again. Do it
No
again.
charisma points.
Joining us as always is John Campia.
Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back to the best damn movie-related show on the internet, coming to you from right here at the Collider Video headquarters here in Burbank, California. And we are so glad you decided to make us part of your day.
Also here, John Schnepp.
Hey, I went to Seal Beach for the first time. I didn't know what it was. It was really fun. You guys should check it out sometime, especially if you're surfers like me.
This episode of Movie Time brought to you by Seal Beach.
Also here it's Mark Ellis.
And the tourism department also wants to remind you that I was in Big Sur hiking this weekend. I did 10 miles
With your mom.
in one
10
day
miles?
with my mom.
That was awesome.
Yes,
That's
there was.
impressive.
I was tired. I was more tired than my mom was. We saw a cougar.
Was it your mom?
I knew she was going to say that. I knew it.
You set Ashley up. She will knock it
Okay.
down.
You hands off her, okay? You're not going to be my new dad.
Ashley Mova is Mark Ellis's new dad in Flavor Town.
All right, guys.
Mark, I just want to
Okay.
ground you for a week because I want to be a
things.
DJ.
It's the opposite of that.
Bad.
Right.
It was Captain Kirk.
One of these.
Oh, yeah. One of the double axe handles. The Macho Man double axe.
Whoever does that? Yeah, that's an automatic.
And no kidding, they did the karate chops to the shoulders. It's like, what? Sorry, man, that movie's horrible. I got a buddy of mine is one of the stars of that film too, and that movie's just horrible.
You didn't like that? What the Vanilla Ice? Remember, he had a little.
Vanilla Ice
Vanilla
was in there
Ice
for
was,
too
was a
long.
high point. He was
That
a
was a
high
high
point in
point.
the
For
movie.
too long.
But, well, he thought.
So
and
Martin,
the
stop
dogs.
eating all those chickens and get with it. That was the second Hulk.
Don't forget about the Hulk dogs.
Yeah, the Hulk
The
dogs.
Hulk
That-
dogs.
That's kind of wildly different and creepy, right? RR.
Yeah.
He's in between that 48th slice of pizza, and he's like, "I'm tired, yawn. These superhero dramas. I must kill another character."
And
savagely.
Spectre Nick
Yeah.
Nolte. Yeah, he's fighting Spectre Nick Nolte in the water.
I would keep it at 5, and I actually don't like that they expanded the Best Picture to 10. I feel it does diminish it a little bit. You don't have to add everybody. It's like it's going to be. It's like you can equate it, like I, for the first time on the show, equate it to sports. Like in the Olympics,
day.
no one really remembers the person who won the bronze.
Decides he wants to be a DJ.
Yeah, he's like, he's got a DJ manual. He's got the thing. He's all set up. He's like still learning. He's got the little scrubby scrub while he's watching a TV show, having some cereal, and he just gets stabbed in the throat by Jason.
And that's the
That sounds like the end of the movie.
No, that's the beginning.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
beginning. It's just a Robert Englund cameo, like Scream. And then bam, Jason's
wow.
back, and then you cast a brand new Freddy. Maybe
Yeah.
he's inside Jason.
And spinning at the Hollywood Club tonight. Make sure to bring your dancing shoes. All right, folks, that'll do it for us. My name's John Campia for Collider Video, and until next time, bye-bye. Order our soundtrack.